All praises, y'all. Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. My name is Officer Nahum with IUIC Raleigh. Here today, the topic of the class is what's to the slave is the 4th of July, 250th year, okay? So, a lot of our people, they like to celebrate Independence Day, what you will call, which is 4th of July, but really is not no independence for us blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Who makes up the 12 tribes of Israel, okay? So you can put the thumbnail back up again, throw that up there real quick. So, as you see on the thumbnail, you got you got our people, you know what I'm saying? They like to party, they cook, they what do you call it? They like to cook pigs and hot dogs, they have all these different type of barbecues and cookouts. They like to drink, they shoot up fireworks. It's just crazy, you know what I'm saying? But in commemoration of America's freedom. Okay, when America was born, not when you had your independence, okay? Because during 1776, you was a slave. Black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man, okay? So let's get that. Give me that definition number one real quick. Pull that up for me real quick. Number one, Independence Day, so we can find out the meaning of Independence Day. All right, read that for me, my reader.
Independence Day, widely known as the 4th of July, is a federal holiday in the United States that commemorates the adoption of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776.
That's the year 1776. So right now we're in the year 2026. So that's the 250th year or anniversary, or how you say, that's how old America is. Okay, that's when it was born. So it's 250 years old. That's how old Babylon the Great is. But go ahead.
It marks the historic day when the 13 colonies declared their separation from Great Britain to establish a free and independent nation.
So they could become a free and independent nation. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to do their own things. They wanted to break away from Great Britain. They said, we want to do our own thing. They knew they could get rich, you know what I'm saying, by the enslavement of the so-called Native Americans and the so-called African Americans, okay? So pull up that definition number 2 real quick. So we get the Wikipedia version of Independence Day, all right? So let me know when y'all ready for that. All righty, so just to show you about the Independence Day, and I ain't talking about no Independence Day with America fighting damn aliens and stuff like that. Well, you saw, what's his name, Will Smith. He was a pilot, and he over there fighting, aliens. That's them thinking they're going to fight Christ, okay? But we're going to see what this transition here. Go ahead.
Independence Day, known colloquially as the 4th of July, is a federal holiday in the United States which commemorates the adoption of the Declaration of Independence on July 4, 1776, establishing the United States of America.
That's what established the USA, United States of America, or Babylon the Great, okay? The great whore. Go ahead.
By doing this, the delegates to the Second Continental Congress declared the 13 colonies were no longer subject and subordinate to the monarch of Britain, King George III, and were now united, free, and independent states.
Right. So now let's pull up the 13 colonies. Click on that real quick. So we got to see who make up the 13 colonies, and put it right there. So you'll see the map right there. That's the map. You'll see those states that are covered in red. They make up the 13 colonies. So you got what is it? A Maine. You see Maine up at the top. You got New Hampshire, Vermont. You got Massachusetts. You got New York. You got Rhode Island, Connecticut. You got Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. Where we at right now? North Carolina. We got South Carolina and Georgia. That make up the 13 colonies. So scroll down real quick. Scroll down a little bit, because they give you a name of the stuff. Scroll down. Right. Let's read that right there. Read that.
The 13 colonies were the British colonies on the Atlantic coast of North America, which broke away from the British Crown in the American Revolutionary War.
Right. So this is the American Revolutionary War. This is when they had war with Britain. Okay. This is when they wanted to break free from them and become independent. And that's their Independence Day, to be separate from their, you might say their mother, because that's where they broke off from. Okay. Read on.
1775 through 1783, and joined to to form the United States of America.
So that's when they formed that. That's when United States of America was born. Read.
The 13 colonies in their traditional groupings were the New England colonies.
So now it's going to give you the list of the New England colonies, just like what you read about the New England Patriots. You know what I'm saying? That's all them states that's way up north. They got that accent up there, the New England accent. Go ahead, read.
Province of New Hampshire, Province of Massachusetts Bay, Colony of Rhode Island, and Province of Plantations, Providence of Plantations, and Connecticut Colony.
Right, so that's your New England Patriots right there. All of them represent the Patriots. That's where that football team comes from. It represent all those states there that you saw at the very top, okay, where it's real cold up there. Go ahead, read on.
The middle colonies, Province of New York, Province of New Jersey, Province of Pennsylvania, and Delaware Colony.
Right, so that's the middle colony, okay, of the 13 colonies. Go ahead.
And the southern colonies, Province of Maryland, Colony of Virginia, Province of North Carolina, Province of South Carolina, and Province of Georgia.
So these are the ones in the South, okay? All these states are on the East Coast today, okay? What we call the East Coast, but you had your southern states too as well. But read on.
These colonies were part of British America, which also included territory in the Floridas, the Caribbean, and what is today Canada.
Right. So it's letting you know there was other areas that you had Canada, you know, because you got a British you got a British side of Canada, and you also got a French side over there. In the Caribbean, same thing. You got a British side, and also you got you got a British side, and you got some places that got French or speak Creole, which is another form of, you know, I'm gonna say a ghetto way of I'm gonna say Ebonics way of speaking French. Then you got, you know, Spanish colonies there as well. Okay. Then Florida, you know what I'm saying? That's part of the United States, and they were run by the Spaniards at that particular time. But read on.
The 13 colonies were separately administered under the crown, but had similar political and constitutional and legal systems, and each were dominated by Protestant English speakers.
Right. So let you know, they were all under the Protestant church. Okay. You remember, you know, as we see in our Bible, you see this here missing right here, the Apocrypha, right? The white Protestant church removed these 14 books. They removed these 14 books out of the Bible. Okay. So they was originally in the King James Version Bible, but they removed them out. You can still buy the King James Version with the 14 books in there, but it costs more money, or you can buy it separate, okay? But this bridged the gap. This book right here, it bridges the gap between the Old Testament and the New Testament, okay? That's why a lot of our people are confused when they don't understand the difference between Jew, Greek, or Gentile, you know, or strangers and stuff like that. You know, those were Greek-speaking Israelites, okay? Israelites that were conquered during the time of Alexander the Greek and his 4 generals after him and stuff, okay? You read about that in the Maccabees, first Maccabees and second Maccabees, okay? That's what confuses a lot of us when we read the Bible. You thinking everybody all one people. No, that's America. America's Babylon the Great. They want everybody to be one people, okay? You can go, actually, we'll drop that right there. Let's go to, go to Daniel chapter 3 and Daniel chapter 2 and verse 36 real quick. Yeah, Daniel chapter 2 and verse 36. I'm touching on this, or I'm going into some history here just to show you what Daniel, he had a vision of the kingdoms, you know what I'm saying, that's going to be ruling. You got the history, and it's going to show America and everybody that had a chance to rule. Go ahead.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 36.
Right, and where we going to? We're going into Nebuchadnezzar's dream. Nebuchadnezzar was the king of Babylon, okay? He the one that took the southern kingdom from Jerusalem, you know, when they broke God's commandments. He besieged it, and he took them in slavery and brought them over to Babylon. Babylon today is what you will call Iraq, today, modern-day Iraq. That's where, like, with Baghdad, or they call it Babil, another little town. That's where Babylon was, or you see the ruins, you know, the ziggurat, or what they call it. That's the ruins of Babylon. Okay, read what you got.
This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the God of heaven have given thee a kingdom, power and strength and glory.
Right. So he's letting Nebuchadnezzar know, Daniel's explaining, you that king, the Lord gave you the power to rule. Because the Lord set up kingdoms. He set people up to rule, to be, like the kings. What is it? I want to say, what is it? Psalm 14 or Isaiah 14? The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. If I'm correct, can you get that for me? Get that. I didn't have it in my notes. I think it's Isaiah 14. No, not Isaiah. It's Proverbs 4:20. Yeah, that's it. Get that out there for me real quick. Yes, sir. Start at verse 1. Proverbs 24:1.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
Hear that? The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. The heart of man is your brain, according to Mark 7:21. So his mind is in the Lord. Okay, the Lord controls him. Read it again.
The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
They say he turn it whereversoever he will. Wherever he want him to do, he move him like a puppet master. He got strings on him. He moves according to what he say to move. That's why, matter of fact, go to Romans 9 real quick. Let me show y'all something here. I didn't have these things written in my notes, but go to Romans 9 and I'm going to show you what we going to let me cover this up in my notes. All right. Romans 9, start at verse, where we at here? We just start at 17. Jump down to, let's see here real quick. See that with Pharaoh. Start at verse 17.
Yes, sir. Romans chapter 9 and verse 17. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh.
So we know Pharaoh, right? Pharaoh was the king of Egypt, okay? Pharaoh was, during the time of Moses. This particular Pharaoh, I want to say, I think it was Ramses II. Go ahead.
For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up.
He said, even for this same purpose, I raised thee up. Just like he got Nebuchadnezzar, he's raised up as the king. He said, I raised you up to get power, to be the ruling class at this particular time. Go ahead.
That I might show my power in thee.
This is where he take over his mind. He said, I'm going to show my power in you. Go ahead.
And that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
Read.
Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy.
So the Lord said, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy.
And whom he will hardeneth.
Read it again.
Therefore hath he had mercy on whom he will have mercy. And whom he will hardeneth.
Whom he will, he hardeneth. Okay. He said, I will make, because Pharaoh would have been let us go. When all those things that the Lord was doing, all those plagues that he put on Egypt, them like miracles, them wonders right there. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff that he saw, he would have been let us go, but the Lord hardened his heart, hardened his mind so that he wouldn't let us go. The Lord was trying to show us something, okay? He said, I'm going to show you a few things that I can do, but I hardened his heart so that way he wouldn't let you go. That's what he told Moses. He said he would have let you go, but I hardened his heart, okay? So let's go back there, to where we was at in Daniel chapter 2 and 36.
Yes, sir. Daniel chapter 2 and verse 36. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the God of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power and strength and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of heaven have he given into thine hand, and have made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold.
So now, matter of fact, can somebody pull up that pull up 2A? Yeah, I forgot to get you. Pull up picture 2A real quick when you get a chance, and so everybody can see what this figure or this image of what we about to explain. Okay, we explained in the vision what Nebuchadnezzar saw in his dream and what Daniel broke down and gave him the interpretation thereof. Okay, so read that verse again.
Yes, sir.
Verse 38.
Daniel chapter 2 and verse 38. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven have he given into thine hand, and have made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold.
So he said, you are the top ruling class. You that head of gold, and ain't nobody stronger or powerful than you during this particular time. Okay, so Daniel Daniel was letting them know, you that head of gold that's on this image, that's in your vision and your dream that you have. It represents you, okay? So read on.
Yes, sir. Verse 39. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee.
Hear that? He said another kingdom going to rise up that's going to be lesser than you, okay? This kingdom is going to overthrow them, but it's going to be lesser. So here we go. We got you guys can see the picture there. So you got Babylon, that was Nebuchadnezzar. He was the king of Babylon. He's that head of gold. So this other kingdom that's going to rise up is going to be inferior to Babylon, which is going to be the Persian and Media nation. Okay, the Persian and Media today. This is Iran. Iran is the very last country over there in the Middle East that was called Persia. Okay, but if you ask somebody from Iran today, you ask them what their nationality is, they're going to tell you we are Persian. So they know who they are in the Bible, okay? So they're Persian, and you got the East Indians, the ones that's in India, Pakistan, you know what I'm saying, and that area, I want to say Afghanistan too, all of them, all of them were the Persian, okay? And that was the Persian Media Empire. So read that verse again where we was at. I think it was 39.
Yes, sir. Daniel chapter 2 and verse 39. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass.
So then there's going to be another kingdom of brass that's going to come up, right? So this kingdom of brass that came up was Greece, okay? Greece came up. This is Alexander the Greek, okay? Right. This is, I forgot what the other name of the country, what they called it, Macedonia, okay? So it was called Macedonia, but it became Greece, okay? So that's who is talking about. He's that brass, that kingdom of brass. Go ahead.
Which shall bear rule over all the earth.
Because he ruled the whole earth, right, when he was here, okay? Just to show proof, hold this right here. Hold that. I want you to go with Maccabees 1. First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1. When you get it, go ahead on and read it. So this is what we're going to read about. This is what we're telling you how the Apocrypha was pulled out by the white Protestant church. But we're going to show you, we're going to bridge these gaps so you can relate, so you can understand. Today. Let me know when you got it there, reader.
First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1.
Let's go.
And it happened after Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, has smitten Darius, king of the Persian and Medes.
Right. So now the Persian and Media Empire, they failed. Okay. It was a double empire. Okay. You had two nations. You had the Medes and you had the Persians. The Medes ruled before the Persians. Then the Persians ruled in the latter end. Okay. So they got conquered and got beat by the Greeks through Alexander. Go ahead.
That he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
Right, he was the first king over Greece that we know. We read about him in history. You learned all about him in school. But shoot, that's one big person. That was real famous. They always talk about Alexander the Greek, or they'll say Alexander the Great. Read on.
And made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth.
Hear that? He slew the kings of the earth. That's what it was talking about here. And what we just read in verse 39, where it said he bare rule over all the earth, right? Read on.
And went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, and so much that the earth was quiet before him.
Because he had rulership. Everybody was scared of him when he was on the earth. He ruled all that stuff. Go ahead.
Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
And his heart was lifted up, right? So read on.
And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings, who became tributaries unto him.
Right, who became tributaries unto him, right? All these nations and stuff. He broke up his kingdom into his four friends that he grew up with. They became his four generals. We ain't gonna read too much of all that, but he got sick, he died, and he split up his kingdom into his four generals, okay? So let's go back to Daniel 3 and read verse 39.
Sir, Daniel chapter 2 and verse 39.
2 and 39.
And after thee shall arise another kingdom, inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth.
That's the Greeks, okay? Go ahead.
And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron.
So the fourth kingdom is going to be that iron that you see. That's going to be the legs right there, okay? His leg is going to be made of iron. Go ahead.
For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise.
Right. So that's why it's called like the Greco-Roman era, right? So you had, because the Romans, they branched off the Greeks. They're the same people. These are Edomites, or they descendants of Esau, so-called Caucasian people today, okay? The red, pink people, all right? So this is who they be. This is their forefathers, okay? So they came from the Greeks all the way now to the Romans, okay? So go ahead.
And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron.
Hear that? So he said, now you seeing the feet of this thing. Right, so the feet, how many toes in the feet? You know, normal people got 10 toes, right? So it's going into this image. It had 10 toes, but just remember that number 10, okay? But it's letting you know. Read it from the verse again. Read that 41.
Yes, sir. Verse 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided.
So the kingdom going to be divided. Why? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody going to have their own belief, their own understanding, that they got their own ways of life. This is the place where you do what you want to do and feel good. That's why there's always some kind of riot, some different things taking place, because it's called confusion. This is Babylon. Babylon means confusion, okay? Babel. Go ahead, read.
But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay.
Right. So now, as this other kingdom that is talking about the 10 toes, I forgot to touch on that part. The 10 toes, this is going into America, okay? This is what we're reading about. So Daniel saw America. He seen this he broke this down during the time of Babylon, okay? And yeah, I think America's 250 years old now. This is a few thousand years ago right here that we talking about. Back during the time of Daniel. Daniel was doing the Babylonian captivity. He was one of the captives, okay? So it's showing he's seeing the vision that, hey, the iron and miry clay don't mix. Miry clay is wet clay. That's like mud, you know, it's not sealed together, or you see cement when it's wet, it falls through your hands. So this clay it don't mix. It's not going to go together with the iron, okay? So read on.
And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Hear that? Gonna be partly strong and partly broken. That's why you have all these uproars and you know, riots and things that happen. You know, you got Esau fighting against us in America. You got China. You got Moab, who is the Chinese. You got Ammon, who is the Japanese. Everybody don't like each other. Everybody have fought each other at some point in time in history. So everybody is against one another, okay? Go ahead.
Verse 43, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
Hear that? With the seed of men, with all the nations of the earth. That's why I call America the big melting pot, okay? Ain't called the big melting pot for no reason. Go ahead.
But they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Hear that? Even as iron is not mixed with clay, so the people, they're going to be broken up. That's why, you know, if you look at some of these old, like, let's say if you go to Boston, Massachusetts, if you go up to Boston, like I'm naming these old cities, these big cities you go to New York City, they're broken up. They're like diverse into whatever their nationality is. They're like, this is an Italian neighborhood. This neighborhood got a lot of Arabs at here. This neighborhood this is where all the blacks and Hispanics live at on this side of the neighborhood. And it's always poor wherever the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans live at. But you got all the other nations. You got the Chinatown. You got a Korean town. You got all these different things. So it's diverse. You got diverse nations and different customs, and that's why they don't mix together. The only time they really come together, unless it's some evil, some sin. That's the only way they come together, and then they go right back to the same foolishness, okay? I ain't gonna say foolishness, but they go back to that, like that picture right there. That's the great melting pot, that citizenship. They mix you up, feed you a bunch of BS, and now you an American citizen. You know what I'm saying? Or you got a green card, however you want to say. But let's go back into the scriptures. Reverse 42 again.
Yes, sir. Verse 42. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. But they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Right, even as iron is not mixed with clay. So I'm just showing you what Daniel saw, how he broke down Nebuchadnezzar's dream. Right. So now we're gonna go to another vision. Go to Daniel 7:1 real quick. So we're going to chapter 7 and verse 1. You know, we in this book for a little bit. So let's go through this. So now Daniel, this is Daniel right here. He's in Babylon. He's got another vision here that's taking place. The Lord is showing him something that's going to take place in the future. I ain't gonna say the near. It's not the near future, but these things going to happen. Okay. So this is during the time of Nebuchadnezzar's grandson. Okay, that's who this person we about to read about during his rulership. Go ahead.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters.
Right. So now he got the dream. Now he's writing this stuff down. The Lord told him to write this thing down. So he's gotta put this down. And this is what he writing down. He writing the whole chapter down for us to read in these last days. Go ahead.
Verse 2. Daniel spake and said, I saw my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea.
So the four winds are the armies, okay? These are the militaries that's on the earth, okay? That's what the four winds is going into, okay? Go ahead.
And four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from one another.
Read it again.
And four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another.
Right. So now he see four great beasts coming up from the sea. They different. They're all different from one another. Okay, go ahead.
The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings.
So this first beast that he saw, it was like a lion, meaning it had some what do you call it? Had some things like what we read in Nebuchadnezzar's dream. Okay, so Babylon. Remember, it had characteristics of Babylon. Babylon is the lion. Okay, that's what it's going into. Read on.
I beheld till the wings.
Verse 4.
Yes, sir. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth.
Meaning it took off. You know what I'm saying? Now it's starting to rain. Go ahead.
And made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it.
Right. So now this kingdom had wisdom. Okay. The Lord gave wisdom to this kingdom. Go ahead.
And behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear.
So the bear that is going into is Persia and Media, okay? So he's showing you the same thing. You got Babylon, you got Persia and Media. So this bear, that's what this bear is going into. Go ahead.
And it raised up itself on one side.
So it's talking about when it raised itself up on one side, the first kingdom, the rule is going into Media, okay? The Medes. The Medes were in rulership at this particular time, so it was a what do you call it? A dual rulership. But one kingdom was higher than the other. So at this particular time, and they were mingling with each other. So this is going into the Medes. They were ruling over. They were the top class. Then the thing changed. Then the Persians started ruling. Go ahead.
And it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh.
They said arise, meaning go ahead and conquer, take over. You know what I'm saying? Take rulership, conquer, take over those lands. Go ahead.
After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard.
So the leopard this is going to represent Greece, okay? So Greece is the leopard. This is Alexander the Greek, okay? What we just read, what we took you to in First Maccabees. Okay, this is him. This is when he's getting him and the Greek Empire was in rulership. Okay, go ahead.
Which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
So now the 4 heads is going into his 4 generals. Okay, his 4 notable generals. Go ahead.
After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth.
So you remember that mineral that is mentioned, or that metal, iron, okay? This is going into Rome, okay? This is the Romans. This next beast he saw was Rome, okay? That today is Italy. So the Romans began to reign after the Greece, okay? Go ahead.
It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts and were before it, and that were before it. And it had 10 horns.
Okay, so now this beast got 10 horns on it, okay? So we're gonna touch on that as well. So this beast got 10 horns. Remember the 10 toes, right? But this beast got 10 horns, right? So go to, let me see this real quick. Read verse 8.
Yes, sir. Verse 8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn.
So now there came up amongst them another little horn. So we're going to touch bases on this. So I want you to go to 2nd Ezra chapter 11 and verse 39 real quick. 2nd Ezra chapter 11 and verse 39. I'm going to read 39 and 40. Let me know when you got it. Yes, sir. I see you got a newer Bible. You got it? All right, so while he gets that, so this is going into, this is prophecy. This is what Daniel's seeing right here in the vision. So the Lord's showing him things that's going to take place in the near future. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
2nd Ezra, chapter 11 and verse 39. Art not thou it that remainest of the 4 beasts, whom I made to reign in my world?
Hear that right there. Read it again.
Art not thou it that remainest of the 4 beasts?
Art not thou that remainest, which is left of the 4 beasts, right? This is the last beast. Go ahead.
Whom I made to reign in my world. That the end of their times might come through them.
Right, so the end of times, meaning this kingdom that the Lord going to fight, this kingdom right here, okay? And what it's talking about. I'm going to let this kingdom here is going to be the one I'm going to fight against. This is Esau, the Edomites. This is their kingdom. Go ahead.
And the 4th came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness.
Yeah, power over the whole world right now, even still to this day. Go ahead.
And over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression.
Right, because he enslaved all the dark nations, okay? It enslaved the Israelites, the blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Americans. Go ahead.
And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit.
With lies. It's blasphemy, okay? That's what this nation does. They always lie. That's how they live, okay? Go ahead.
Verse 41. And for the earth hast thou not judged with truth.
Right, because they don't judge, but they don't got righteous judgment, okay? They do their own thing. That's why I call America the great melting pot. You do what feel good, well, however it is, they get away, they kill us and get away with murder. This stuff here, this ain't nothing new under the sun. This is how they rule, how they move, okay? So now I want you to go to 2nd Ezra chapter 12 and verse 10 real quick. Sir. Go ahead.
2nd Ezra chapter 12 and verse 10. And he said unto me, this is the interpretation of the vision.
So now this is our we hear it with our forefather Ezra's, okay? Ezra and Ezra's is the same person, okay? So he's like, this is the interpretation of the vision right here. Go ahead.
The eagle, whom thou sawest come up from the sea, is the kingdom which has seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel.
So this is what Daniel saw right here. He said this is that 4th kingdom that is talking about, that Daniel saw, that he prophesied about, okay? Go ahead.
But it was not expounded unto him. Therefore now I declare it unto thee.
He said, I'm going to declare this unto you, okay? He said, I didn't expound this. I didn't tell him all the information that I needed to tell him, but I'm going to tell it to you, Ezra. Go ahead.
Behold, the days will come that there shall rise up a kingdom upon earth, and it shall be feared above all the kingdoms that were before it.
Right, so that's going into America. We're going to show more proof of it. Go ahead.
In the same shall 12 kings reign, one after another.
Right, so this is going into, right now, this is going into the Romans right here. These are the 12 feathers that it's talking about, the 12 Caesars. These are the 12 Caesars that ruled Rome. Okay, go ahead.
Whereof the second shall begin to reign, and shall have more time than any of the 12. And this do the 12 wings signify, which thou sawest.
Right, so like this information here wasn't given, it wasn't expounded to Daniel at that particular time, okay? Because it was, it was a time to come. But he said, I'm going to expound to you, Ezra, so you can see right here from Julius Caesar all the way to Domitian, okay? So you got all those 12 Caesars ruled during that time, okay? This is the Roman Empire right here. This is the Romans that ruled, okay? And also Christ was during that time frame, okay? So these are the 12 seasons. These are which are the 12 feathers. Okay. So I'm just showing you that in time later on, this kingdom, the Romans got hurt. They got what do you call it? They got overthrown during the Dark Ages. They got wounded, but they came back. All right. So with that, go back to where we was at in Daniel 7 real quick. Daniel 7:7. Read that.
Yes, sir. Daniel chapter 7 and verse 7. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth.
So this is Rome. Go ahead.
It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it.
It said this beast here was different. It was stronger, you know what I'm saying, than all the other beasts. That way it means it's diverse. Go ahead.
And it had 10 horns.
So this beast had horns on it, okay? Some horns, because the other ones we saw, they didn't have horns. This one had 10 horns on it. Go ahead.
I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn.
So it said now it came up among this horn another little horn, okay? This is that fourth beast right here that we looking at right here. All of them, and you got to remember, America, his symbol is the eagle, okay? Go ahead, read.
Before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
All right, so it's telling you he's got 3 horns that they had that was plucked up by the roots. We're going to touch on what those 3 horns is. Go ahead.
And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things.
So this horn that is talking about is America, right? So that little horn that is talking about, that's the United States of America. So this is what Daniel saw. Daniel saw what happened 250 years ago, okay? He's seen America being born. That's the Independence Day, okay? What we seeing right now. That's why I went there. And what is going into those other 3 horns, it was going into the French and American War, which took place from 1754 to 1763. Then you have Britain. This is 1776. So 1775 to 1783. We just saw that in history, right? So that's the American-British War. Then you had the American and Spanish War in 1898. So all those 3 were plucked up and moved because they were all in America. They will have all different colonies. They had colonized America, okay? And then United States took over all that after that, during that independence, during that, what do you call it, 4th of July, or I'm going to say Declaration of Independence, okay? That's what happened, okay? So this is what Daniel saw. You got to remember, Daniel prophesied this thing. And let me go to Matthews real quick. Go to Matthews 1 and 17. Let me know when you get it. Matthews chapter 1 and verse 17. This is during the time of Christ right here, right? So let's see what was prophesied then. Go ahead and read
Matthew chapter 1 and verse 17.
Uh-huh.
So all the generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations.
So this is 14 generations from when we read in Genesis from Abraham all the way to King David. We get to 1 Samuel, okay? Go ahead.
And from David unto the carrying away into Babylon are 14 generations.
So from the time of King David, when he was in rulership, all the way through the time of the book of the Kings and Chronicles, then you get into when everybody got carried away to Babylon. The Babylonian captivity is 14 generations. Go ahead.
And from the carrying away into Babylon unto Christ are 14 generations.
Said from Babylon to Christ are 14 generations, okay? So during this time here, what we reading here, during the time of Christ, all the way from that time of Daniel. Daniel prophesied this thing 14 generations ago. From that time, and that's about probably anywhere from about 500 to 600, I'm going to say about 600 years if we round it off. So during that time from that 14th generation. So he prophesied that. He prophesied about America coming here to rule and be born, okay, of Babylon the Great. So that's what you just read there in Daniel chapter 7, verse 7 through 8, okay? So that's all that's the history thing there. So go back to 2nd Ezra 12 real quick, where we left off at, 12 and verse 17. Let me know when you get that, 12 and 17.
Second Ezra chapter 12 and verse 17. As for the voice which thou heardest speak, and that thou sawest not to go out from the heads, but from the midst of the body thereof. This is the interpretation.
Go ahead.
that after the time of that kingdom, there shall arise great strivings, and it shall stand in peril of falling. And nevertheless, it shall not then fall, but shall be restored again to his beginning.
Right. So, because during this time, you had this is going into the dark ages, and then they came back in power. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 19. And whereas thou sawest the 8 small under feathers sticking to her wings, this is the interpretation, that in him there shall arise 8 kings, whose time shall be but small, and their years swift, and 2 of them shall perish.
Right. Jump to verse 23 real quick. We'll get to the point.
Yes, sir. Verse 23. In his last days shall the Most High raise up 3 kingdoms, and renew many things therein, and they shall have the dominion of the earth.
Right. So that's those 3 kingdoms that we was talking about before. What is it? France and Britain and Spain. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 24. And of those that dwell therein with much oppression above all those that were before them, therefore are they called the heads of the eagle.
That's that. Show that picture again. The heads of the eagle. If you could pull that transition again. So now they were called the heads of the eagle right there. That's the fourth beast of Daniel 7-7 and 2nd Ezra chapter 12 and 11. Okay. So read on.
For these are they that shall accomplish his wickedness, and that shall finish his last end.
Right. So, but it's showing you the important thing I want you to know in verse 24 is the eagle. What is America's symbol? The eagle. What was Rome's symbol? The eagle. The Spaniards, the eagle. French, eagle. All of them, the whole Edomite nation, they were the eagles. Okay, they like that letter E. Eagles and Edom and Esau. That's them right there. Okay, that's how they roll. So go to let's see here real quick. Go to Revelation 13:1 real quick. Go there. Revelation 13:1. I know I'm in here for a minute. I'm just showing you about the independence. I'm just showing you about this place, this wicked place, America. Okay. Read what you got. 13:1.
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea.
So now you got John the Revelator. He see this same vision that Daniel saw, okay? He's seeing it, but now things are being expounded more unto him. And also the same thing Ezra saw. Go ahead.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns.
So now you got remember they said they saw 10 horns. Now they seeing he got 7 heads and 10 horns, right? So put that that image 2A up real quick. 7 heads and 10 horns. If you got it, read what you got. Read 13 again from the top.
Yes, sir. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
So it's letting you know you got 7 heads and 10 horns. So the 7 heads that this talking about is talking about Greece. You got France, you got Russia, Great Britain, Rome, Spain, and Germany, right? Those are the 7 major empires, right? During that time of, the 7 heads. Then you got the 10 horns of the 10 common markets, right? That's Belgium, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Germany, United Kingdom, Italy, and Greece, France, Denmark, and Ireland, okay? So we got all those kingdoms, all of them are Edomite nations today, okay? Even from back then, even today. So read on.
And upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
Lies, the name of lies, blasphemy. Okay, that's that image right there that they see right there. Okay, that's that dragon there. Go ahead.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard.
Hear that? He see that same thing. He see that beast I see is like unto a leopard. Go ahead.
And his feet were as the feet of a bear.
Remember the bear, right? Go ahead.
And his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
And the mouth as the mouth of a lion. So this, what they seeing now, what John the Revelator is seeing, that this beast got the same attributes of those other kingdoms that rule during what Daniel saw, that had the rulership or whatever, or that in the vision that he had in his bed in his dream. He said he went through Babylon, then he went through Persia and Media, then he went through Greece and Rome. Okay, so this beast here got all those attributes of those last kingdoms. Okay, go ahead.
And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority.
Right. So the dragon is going to the spiritual, that spiritual angel Satan. Okay, this is his children right here. This is their father. Okay, go ahead.
And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death.
Right. This is Rome, and Rome got conquered during they got beat by severe Septembers. Okay, during the Dark Ages, when the Dark Ages took place. I want to say 190 something, 196 AD or something, 193 AD. That's the time frame. Go ahead.
And his deadly wound was healed.
And
all the world wondered after the beast.
Right. So now he came back in power. Okay. So once he came back in power, he enslaved the dark nation. He took the so-called, I say so-called Moors. Moor just mean black. Okay. Those were the Israelites, and that was a Latin word, a Latin term for them to say the blacks. They called us the blacks. We didn't call ourselves blacks. That was something they called us. Okay. Go ahead.
And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast?
They like, who is like unto this beast right here? This man powerful, man. We can't do nothing. The whole earth was scared of this nation right here. Okay, go ahead.
Who is able to make war with him?
Go ahead.
And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies.
So what great things that is speaking? He covered the faces of the judges thereof. We read in Job 9 and 24, or First Maccabees 3 and 48. So you got to look at all that stuff that he had the power to do. That can nobody tell him to stop. Okay, so he had people worshiping the Caucasian image of Christ. All that stuff. He took all that. He took everything in the Bible and made it look like him. Okay, go ahead.
And power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
Go ahead.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God.
Heard that? He opened his mouth in blasphemy against God. He called himself the Jew now. Okay? The real Jews is here lost. The real Israelites are lost, don't know who they are. They're scattered abroad through the four corners of the earth. Go ahead.
To blaspheme his name and his tabernacle.
Right, because they call themselves Jewish. Ish, meaning pertaining to or something like, but not the real thing. Go ahead.
And them that dwell in heaven.
And them that dwell in heaven, that's them changing the faces of the judges thereof, okay? So jump to verse 11.
Yes, sir. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth.
Right, so now this other beast coming up right here out of the earth for rulership. Go ahead.
And he had two horns like a lamb.
Two horns like a lamb, okay? Meaning, he looked like something that's peaceful. When you see a lamb is like a docile type of animal. So he come off looking like he peaceful. That's how the white man come at you. He'd talk nice and calm. But read on.
And he spake as a dragon.
But he spake as a dragon. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he evil. He wants to do evil. So that's going into his democracy or Democrat and Republican parties, okay? This is what's in their mouth, okay? They talk politics and stuff, how they going to conquer us and keep us down. Go ahead. Let's see here real quick. Read on verse 12.
Yes, sir. Verse 12. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him.
That's Rome, okay? That's why you see here in America, everything you go downtown, you see like the courthouses, got the pillars, everything's set up just like ancient Rome and ancient Greece. You got the Colosseums, you got the gyms, you got everything, all sports, all that. Everything is still set up. The calendar, Greco-Roman calendar, all that stuff. The days, the months, the years, all that stuff is named from them. Go ahead.
And causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
Right, whose deadly wound was healed, right? So everybody worshiping and doing what the Romans do. And this also going to, what is it, Caesar Borgia. He was killed. You know what I'm saying? He was killed, and then they made his image come to life. Okay, they made everybody come to worship him. They brought him over and said, this is the new Christ. Okay, but go ahead.
And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven.
Right, so this is what you call the atom bomb. He dropped the atom bomb, okay, on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, Japan. Okay, they when they dropped that bomb, they waved the white flag immediately. The war was over. Nobody ever saw anything like that. They never seen a bomb that powerful that shut down everything. Only thing we're moving around there were the roaches. Okay, read on.
So that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth inside of men.
In the sight of man. That's what they said. It looked like fire coming from heaven. Okay, when that mushroom cloud took place. This happened in the year 1945. Okay, see that big old bomb there, that mushroom cloud there. Hey, that place there, still to this day, you can't eat nothing that grow from that land. That place is still contaminated. You can't even fish in the water of that section of the ocean. All that stuff got radioactive to it. Okay, so let's do this real quick. Give me definition number 3 real quick. So this also goes into what the slave is. It said what to the slave is the 4th of July. That's the title. So I want to get that definition of slave real quick. When you get a chance, let me know when you got that ready. That IT. Go ahead.
Slave. Slave.
Number 1.
Yes, sir. Number 1. Someone captured, sold, or born into chattel slavery.
It says someone captured or sold or born into chattel slavery. So there was all type of different type of slaveries that took place, but this slavery everybody knows about what happened to the so-called African Americans, the Hispanics, and the Native Americans. Okay, they were someone captured. They were all captured. They were sold. And then when they had children, they were born into chattel slavery. I mean, it's hard slavery, bondage. Scroll down real quick. Scroll on down right there. Read that right there, number 2.
Number 2, someone such as factory worker or or domestic laborer.
So let's say this right here. You got someone such as a factory worker. We got factories all through here in America, right? Or a domestic laborer, somebody working hard labor work. That's construction, you name it. Go ahead.
Who is coerced, often under threat of violence, to work for little or no pay.
Because during our hard bondage, we didn't get paid nothing. America got great. They got rich off of us working out there in the fields, right? But on this right here, it's showing you may get paid, but it'd be little pay. They did that to us during the Jim Crow era. We couldn't make the same amount as a so-called white man. They paid us little bitty money under the table type junk, and we could barely live and make ends meet. Scroll on down some more. Let me see. We got some more definitions. Number 3, read that.
Number 3, someone held captive and forced to perform sexual acts, usually under threat of violence and often for the purposes of commercial prostitution.
Right. This happened. That happened to it. That's what, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Players Club. They said Players Club, they said a strip club, that came from slavery. They took our women and they had drinks and they partied and got drunk and they had our women walking around naked and crazy and stuff. That was a strip club. That's where that stuff started at, from the slave man. They broke that stuff down in the movie. I was like, and I watched that movie when I was a little younger. I was like, damn, I didn't know that. But you learn a lot of things. That stuff stick to you. Now go back to that definition again. Let me see if there's another definition. Scroll down. Right there. What's that say? Go ahead, read that.
Number 4, someone or something that is completely subservient to a dominating person or influence.
That's our people today. Our people are subservient to their slave master today. That's who they want to be like. That's who they want to act like. That's what you have to go. I'm telling wherever we scattered at, but we dealing with the Independence Day. We dealing with America right now, and this is what our people. What they lost in right now. They don't know who they are. But go to Jeremiah 2:14 real quick. So we're gonna get some scriptures on this. Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 14. Let me know when you got it there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because a lot of our people, they got a slave mentality, slave mindset when you talk to them. What about the white man? What about this man? What about your people? They don't care about their own people. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave?
Hear that? He said, is Israel a servant? That's you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Are we servants? And is he a homeborn slave? Read.
Why is he spoiled?
He said, why are we spoiled? You know what I'm saying? Why are we spoiled as a people? Why are we robbed and spoiled? You know what I'm saying? And that is something known throughout captivity. That means you was a slave here, a slave there. That's what God was like. He was like, man, are y'all just a homeborn slave, man? Y'all cannot get right. Y'all love being a slave. Go to Jeremiah 50 and 33. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 33. Get some more slave scriptures here.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 33. Thus said the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
Hear that? They said the children of Israel, because there was a split in Israel. Israel is the northern kingdom. That's today's your Hispanic and your Native American people, okay? They are the kingdom of Israel. That's why they said the children of the children of Israel. Go ahead. And they said Judah, that's your American blacks, your Caribbean blacks, your Haitian blacks, okay? They say that we were oppressed together. How were we oppressed? We were oppressed here in America together, even in ancient Babylon together, okay? That nothing new. Even in some remnants of the northern kingdom, they were left back. They didn't all leave. You know what I'm saying? And some of them they were oppressed with us. Like when Christ went to talk to the female in the well, she was northern kingdom, okay? So she was in slavery with Rome, okay? Read that verse again.
Yes, sir. Thus said the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
Because that's what's going on right now. They refuse to let us go. If they let us go, what's going to happen? Their kingdom going to fall. They need us. They want us. They got to have us. You know what I'm saying? If it weren't for us, they would have lost all their wars. They would have lost everything. But everything of the Lord, we here to repent in these last days in this place, okay? So go to Baruch chapter 3 and verse 4. Baruch chapter 3 and verse 4. Let me know when you got it.
Yes, sir, I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 4. O Lord Almighty, thou God of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites.
Hear that. He said, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites. So what does he mean by the dead Israelites? Go to Proverbs 21 and 16. Because we here in America, you know, we walking around, we not physically dead, but we spiritually dead. We're checked out. We don't know who we are as a people. We don't know where we going as a nation. Okay, so this is what he's talking about here. Read what you have.
Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
Hear that? The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding, you wander away from this Bible, this is what will make you a Gentile. This will make you a stranger. This will make you another nation, okay? That makes you not called God's people. You called a Negro. You called a black, a colored, Hispanic, Native American, you know, whatever you name it, whatever we call throughout the four corners of the earth, all type of derogatory names. Read that scripture from the top.
Yes, sir. Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
That's what that movie, The Walking Dead, is talking about, the zombies, okay? It's talking about us. We in a zombie state. That's why Baruch was saying, hear the prayers of the dead Israelites. So go back to
yes, sir.
Baruch 3 and 4.
Yes, sir. Baruch chapter 3 and verse 4. O Lord Almighty, thou God of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites.
The sleep Israelites, go ahead.
And of their children, which have sinned before thee, and not hearken unto the voice of thee, their God. For the which caused these plagues cleave unto us.
Right, which caused these plagues, right? These plagues to cleave unto us. What are the plagues? Are the curses. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Remember not the iniquities of our forefathers, but think upon thy power and thy name now at this time.
So Baruch was telling our people, Baruch was during the time of Babylon. Okay, he was somebody. He was what do you call it? He was with Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah. He was a student under Jeremiah. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 6. For thou art the Lord our God, and thee, O Lord, will we praise.
So he's trying to tell our people to repent. Hey, while you here, you got to repent in Babylon and in the ancient Babylon at that particular time. But these scriptures are also for us today that we need to repent, like Romans 15:4, whatsoever things written aforetime, written for our learning, that through patience and comfort of the scriptures that we might have hope. So he's telling us you gotta repent and keep the commandments in order for the Lord to listen to us. Go ahead.
That's right. And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity.
Praise thee in our captivity. Okay, even in today's captivity. Go ahead.
For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that sinned before thee.
Read.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
So today, even right now in 2026, we are yet this day in our captivity. Think about it. You can't just go up and leave and go fly to Germany. You can't even walk to the next 2 continents that's next to it. You can't even walk into Mexico. You can't even walk in Canada. Why? Because you need a passport. They need to know where you're going, where you're going to be at all times. And you got to pay taxes. If you don't pay your taxes, they taking your car, they taking your house, everything, your bike, you name it.
The hell is this?
So you still a slave. Go ahead.
Where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
That's them payments. You got to pay taxes to your slave master, okay? You got to make payments. You subservient here in America, Babylon the Great. Go ahead.
According to all the iniquities of our fathers.
Because our forefathers sinned. We are our forefathers, okay? You just regenerated back, and you got to deal with the sins that you did in former times. Go ahead.
Which departed from the Lord our God.
Because our forefathers, they departed. They became dead Israelites mentally, spiritually, and physically, okay? All right, so read.
Verse 9, hear, Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom.
Hear that. Give ear. Listen to the scriptures. Repent. Go back. Keep the commandments. Don't go to the left. Don't go to the right. That's what it's saying. All right, so let's give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15 real quick. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. I know you can get to that one fast. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So all these evil and bad things, that's what a curse is. One time I asked a brother at camp, and brother was like, a curse, sometimes it could be a good thing. I ain't never heard a curse be a good thing. It's always an evil and bad thing. What's up with these people, man? Our people be on. That's to let you know they are dead. Sleep, man, for real, bugged out. So, you know what I'm saying? Let you know these curses, these plagues, they going to cleave unto us. Why? Because we broke the commandments. Read one curse, the next verse.
Yes, sir. Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
So wherever city we were in back then, what we was reading in Baruch, that was during the time of Babylon. Today, we in Babylon, the great America, right? So cursed shall we be in the city where we in Raleigh, North Carolina, where we in Chicago, Illinois, Los Angeles, California, you name it, or Cleveland, Ohio. Somebody over there just said that to make somebody laugh. But anyways, if you anywhere in those areas, guess what? Our people are cursed in the city, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You live in the slums, ghettos, and the barrios. Read on.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
You're going to be cursed on your job, okay? Even when we were serving hard bondage, you were cursed in the tobacco field here in North Carolina and Virginia. You were cursed in the cotton field down in Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, or you were cursed in the sugarcane field out there in the Caribbean, okay? Or you was picking plantain, bananas, pineapples, wherever we were scattered at in them tropical areas. Hey, you were picking that stuff. They wasn't doing it. They were sitting back drinking mango juice or lemonade in the hot sun while you sweating, okay? and that lemonade better be cold. That's all I got to say. Or you got a couple lashes for that. All right. So jump to what I was let me see. Jump to verse 43.
Yes, sir. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
So those strangers that was amongst us that came out of Egypt as well, because they became our servants, right? So the Lord said, hey, what Moses was telling what the Lord said, that, hey, if we break the commandments, the one curse is those people that are our servants, you're going to have to serve them. They're going to get above you very high. And what else?
And thou shalt come down very low.
You're going to come down very low. We see that today. The same people that you go to buy Chinese food from, you don't know what you're eating, cat, dog, rat. You know, you don't know what you're eating there. And you wonder why. Oh, you got the smoke shops, the Arabs. All them people were under us at one time, okay? The Edomites too. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Verse 44, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
Hear that. He's going to be the lender. You're going to be borrowing money. Okay, who own all the banks and all that stuff? That's your so-called what do you call it? The guy that claimed to be you that stole your identity, the fake Jews, the Jewish man. They own all the banks and money and stuff like that. Read that verse again.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
You ain't gonna lend to him. Go ahead.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
He's gonna be at the bottom. He just repeating verse 43. But read on.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee.
Hear that? No, it says no matter where you go, these curses gonna follow you. We could say I'm gonna move from America, and I'm gonna move to let's say I'm gonna move to Hawaii. Well, not Hawaii is part of America, my bad. But let's say you might want to move to New Zealand or something like that, or you want to move to Canada or whatever country you want to go to. These curses gonna follow you. That's what it means to pursue. If you, hey, look, even if you decide to say, you know what, I'm gonna be an astronaut and I'm gonna go to the space station. Guess what? They're gonna be racist to you up in the damn space station. All right, so go ahead, read on.
And shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed.
Till you be destroyed, okay? Till you die or till you physically, spiritually, mentally destroyed. The walking dead. Go ahead.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee.
Read on.
Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So these curses in these last days are going to be upon you for a sign. Just like you see the stop sign, you know it tells you something, it symbolizes something. So these curses, you be able to see it as a sign that you got, that you the Israelites. Go ahead.
And for a wonder.
And you wonder why you get gunned down in the street. You got different things that happen. That's a big wonder. Go ahead.
And upon thy seed forever.
Forever. They'll be on us until Christ come. Go ahead.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart.
Because why? Read on.
For the abundance of all things.
For the abundance of all things. We want to do what the other nations did, okay? That's what it's saying. We want to keep the commandments. We want to do everything else. We want to become Greeks during the time of the Maccabees. You know what I'm saying? We like the Greeks fashion better than what we were supposed to do to keep the commandments, to be the top nation, okay? Read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
So now you a slave, so therefore you're going to serve your enemies, right? Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Lord sent them. That's the curse. He sent the enemies against us. Go ahead.
In hunger.
And food.
And in thirst. And in nakedness.
And clothes.
And in want of all things.
In want of all things. Whatever you lacking, okay? Everything you need, your education, whatever you call it, and you got to go to your slave master, wherever you scattered at. Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
So, and he, the slave master, we had yokes of iron upon our necks, okay? Whether we walked or whether we was transported by a ship, okay? Go ahead.
Until he have destroyed thee.
Until you become the walking dead, okay? Now you walk around as a zombie, you on drugs, you an alcoholic. Hey, you call yourself outside of your God-given name, that means you destroyed as a people. Go ahead.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
He brought a nation against us from far. That's for the so-called Native Americans, right? You know, or even us that was in Africa too. You know, they came from Europe and they sailed down there. Hey, they came and got us. And it came and got us down here in the Americas. Americas, the Caribbean, South Central America, you name it. Okay, so he sent a nation against thee from far from the end of the earth, from the eastern hemisphere all the way to the western hemisphere. Go ahead.
From the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
Because that's what the symbol of the nation, the eagle, like we read in 2nd Ezra chapter 11 and verse and chapter 12. Okay, the eagle with the horrible wings. Go ahead.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
We didn't understand English, French, Spanish, and all those different. We didn't understand that when they came over here to the Americas. We didn't understand that when it came to the certain parts of Africa or whatever, when we ran down in there. Some of us did, that were the Moors that were stuck in Europe. We knew those languages, but everybody didn't know those languages. These were Latin languages that they spoke. Go ahead. Or Portuguese and stuff. Go ahead.
A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, or show favor to the young.
Because they killed the babies and stuff. They took the babies and smashed them, dashed them against the rocks and the stones, bashed their heads in. They sicked the dogs on the. I mean, these were some big dogs. These were like mastiffs. Okay, they ate our children, man. They starved the dogs out and sick them on it. That's dinner. Go ahead on and eat. They ate. They cut the babies out of the mother's womb. They did all type of horrific stuff to us, man, that we can't even imagine to this day. But go ahead, read on.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle.
Right, so the cattle that we had, he ate up everything, ate all the Native American cattle up. Go ahead.
And the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee.
Hear that? Until he have destroyed thee, okay? Once he destroyed us, then we could buy back what was owned to us. Then we could buy it back. You know what I'm saying? He upped the price, upped the charge on us and everything. You know what I'm saying? And think about, you know, you got, because you have, like you say, you got America. Now people got to buy land that was originally theirs. The Native Americans today, or the so-called Mexicans, or the so-called Aztecs, or whatever. You know, all them people, they getting dogged out. They got you know, done wrong. So with that, jump to verse 64.
Yes, sir. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods.
So now you're going to serve your slave master. If your slave master was a Protestant, you became Protestant. He was Baptist, you became a Baptist. If he was a Mormon, you became a Mormon. Or Catholic, so on and so forth. For those that are over there in the Eastern Hemisphere still, if you were Afro-Iranian or Afro-Iraqi, you became a Muslim. You got forced into that. Okay, whatever your slave master, or the Buddha, if he Chinese, because we built the Great Wall of China, all that stuff, Japan, you name it, okay? But read on.
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So even wood and stone. Wood is the cross. The stone is the Mecca stone down there that the Islam and what they worship. Okay, those are the two big main prime religions. Okay, on the earth, and a lot of our people are in the midst of those two. Read on.
Verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
So we ain't gonna find no ease. That's why you get gunned down, killed on the street. You get called a nigger or whatever they call you. And you know, a kata or whatever, you get called all these derogatory names. Go ahead.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
That's what we had worked that hard bondage. Still today we working check to check. So you have to work, you know, and work hard to earn your pay. Go ahead.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and a failing of eyes, and a sorrow of mind.
And a sorrow of mind. Go ahead, read.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee.
That's why you've seen a lot of, you know, what it says, strange fruit swinging from the poplar tree. That was us. Not just only, that was blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans were found hanging, okay? Hanging many different places. And a lot of the Northern Kingdom don't even know that. They hung a lot of us, man, and burnt us and stuff. Had what they call picnic. Let's pick a nigga. Go ahead.
And thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life.
You have no assurance of that. You don't know if you're going to make it the next day. You don't even know if your kids, you're going to see your children, or your children are going to see you, okay? And that's what took place there. So now go to, let's see here real quick. I want you to go to, go to 3A real quick. Let's go to 3A right fast, y'all. 3A. While you pull 3A, go to 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 40 real quick. We're going to go there right quick. 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 40. We got to show how we came over here. Sir. You got that for me?
Yes, sir. 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Josiah the king.
Right. So now this is going into this is when the Northern Kingdom, the so-called Hispanics and Native Indians today, okay? This is the Northern Kingdom of Israel. This is when they were taken into Assyrian captivity. This is during the last ruling king of the Northern Kingdom, which was King Josiah, okay? That's who that was, all right? So they broke God's commandments. They fell off, and then the king of Assyria came and got them. Who was the king of Assyria? Read on.
Whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
So he carried them over the Jordan River, the Tigris, Euphrates River over there. He carried them over the waters, and he set them up in Nineveh and all around in the provinces of those different lands, okay? That's where they was at. But read on.
But they took counsel among themselves.
But they took this counsel
But they took this counsel among themselves.
So now this is time done went by. So now you done had the Persian. I mean, you done had the Assyrian captivity done finished up. Then you had the Babylonians came and took place. Remember what we read in Daniel's vision? All this stuff had transpired. Now the Persian and Mede Empire they just let us go. Okay, we got the council where we can go build up the kingdom again, because the kingdom was burnt down by Babylon. So the northern kingdom said, hey, we're going to take counsel amongst ourselves and we're going to go somewhere. Read on. I'm talking. I'm going good ahead of myself. Go ahead.
But they took this counsel among themselves, that they will leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Because everybody was dwelling on the eastern hemisphere, okay? Everybody was over there. Nobody was over here on the western hemisphere. They said we're going to a place where mankind never dwelt, where nobody is at, okay? Our Israelites knew about this land, because this is where when they got the temple was built, they got material from over there, okay? So they already knew. Solomon had all the wisdom and all the knowledge, you know what I'm saying, on the earth. He had a navy that sailed over here. So he knew about this place. Okay, go ahead, read on.
That they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
And they never kept the commandments there. They kept breaking them. Go ahead.
And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
So this is when they left. So they took the Euphrates River and they sailed back. And y'all, I don't know if y'all got a map. Y'all got a map of the sail of us. Okay, he's looking for it. All right. So as he's looking for it, so they took the narrow passages of the Euphrates River. You got the Euphrates and the Tigris River. These two rivers that go down through Iraq today, which was ancient Babylon. Okay. So they took the Euphrates River and sailed it all the way down to the Persian Gulf, as it take you all the way through Kuwait. Okay. So they sailed down through the Persian Gulf. Read that verse again.
Yes, sir. Verse 43. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over.
Because they had to sail over from the Persian Gulf. So as we see here on the map right there, right? So you see where it says Asia, Middle East, right? So you'll see where it says the Tigris River, and you got the Euphrates River. You see where Iraq is, right? So they took the Euphrates River all the way down to Kuwait. Kuwait is that little country down there, and it dumps you out to the Persian Gulf. So they sailed through the Persian Gulf. You know, they stopped at different places, got food, drank, materials, and they sailed over through what you see, Saudi Arabia, Oman, and all that. You know, they went around, Qatar and all the different places, and came around where you would see over there on the other map. Matter of fact, that's a good one there. You see they came around there, look at the little hourglass, the magnifying glass. So they came around through the Indian Ocean, sailed around, boom, they stopped at different places, there's different islands there, and went over there to the Western Hemisphere. That's the other ends of the earth, okay? So they came over there and they started populating. They did not come over no Bering Strait, okay? They did not come over there because it's cold. You talking about negative 50, negative 60 degrees. You will freeze to death. So they didn't come that way, all right? Okay? So yeah, so this is a good pattern right here, good path that they took. They sailed over, the Lord held still the waters and brought them over here, okay? And they broke off, went to different places, various places there of the Americas, okay? Read on where we left at, 43.
Yes, sir. Verse 43. And they enter into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over.
Oh, right. So as they were coming through here, it was the tribe of Ephraim and the tribe of Manasseh. You know what I'm saying? They the ones led them there with Issachar. Issachar could read the constellation of the stars as far as traveling. They had that gift, and they came over, you know what I'm saying, that way. But read on.
Verse 45. For through that country there was a great way to go.
So it tells you through that country, right? Get that thing with Christopher Columbus. If y'all have that on file, find that, because we got to prove all things. So he said through that country there was a great way to go, right? Read.
Namely, of a year and a half.
So it took them a year and a half to sail over there. You know what I'm saying? It don't take that long to sail over there, but they had to stop. You had to stop. You had to get food. You got to get resources and stuff like that. As you traveling that way, they stop different places. They drop some people off too at different places. And then then they made their way over there. You know what I'm saying? They sailed over there, and it was many boats, many ships and stuff, or sailboats that they sailed over there. Go ahead, read on.
And the same region is called Arsarith.
That the same region is called Arsarith. So we're going to prove to you. So what they call America was called Arsarith, okay? So watch this right here on the transition. Read that.
This is the Jewish Encyclopedia. Arsarith, the name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell.
Hear that? This is where the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, right? Because y'all, you so-called Edomites, or even our brothers and sisters that are asleep, y'all like Christopher Columbus. But let's see what Christopher Columbus said. Go ahead.
Observing the laws of Moses until the time of the restoration, according to the 2nd Ezra 13 and verse 45.
Read.
Columbus identified America with this land.
Hear that? Columbus identified America as Arsarith. Okay, that's how he found out how to get here. Remember in history class, they used to argue and say the Earth was they said Columbus, and they had disagreements about the Earth being flat. They thought the Earth was flat, and he said no, the Earth was round. The Lord put the Spirit on him to come here because the Northern Kingdom went off. The so-called native tribes, the Native American Indians, which are the Aztec, the Incas, the Cherokees, the Arawak Indians, all them in South Central America, all them were doing evil stuff. Okay, so the Lord said, I'm going to send him down there, and y'all going into captivity. You going back to Egypt. That's what Egypt mean. Okay, so but go pull that thing back up. Pull it up real quick. Read that again. That the last part. Columbus identified America.
Yes, sir. According to 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 45, Columbus identified America with this land.
Right, so he identified America as Arsarith, okay? So this is documentation right here, okay? This ain't no phony news. This is real stuff right here, okay? And that's how the so-called Native Americans came over here to the Americas. So pull up 3A for me. Pull up 3A. It's a Wikipedia thing. Let me know when you got it. You see it? You got it there? Okay. So I want you to scroll down on that real quick. So read that top.
Yes, sir. Slavery among Native Americans in the United States.
Right. So I want you to read that part there.
Yes, sir. Native American slavery and American Indian slaves. Redirect here. For slavery by indigenous people of Americas more generally.
Here, hold on. See that picture? Pull that picture there up right there. So you see they took the Native Americans and they had them captures, and they put them in slavery. This is the conquistadors, all of them is conquistador. The word conquistador just means conquerors, okay? Whether they came from Britain, Spain, France, Portugal, or Dutch, okay? Wherever they came from, any one of them, they were all called conquerors, okay? And they spoke those different languages. But I want you to scroll all the way down to the bottom part. You see, scroll down real quick. Some more. Scroll down. Scroll down. There should be like a thing at the bottom where it say like traditions of slavery or whatever. I don't know if y'all went past that. Keep going. Keep going. I ain't think that thing's long and big. Keep on going. It should be at the bottom. Go all the way down to the bottom. I'm sorry. See how this thing pull up real quick. All right. It should be at the bottom. I don't know if y'all might have clicked something. All right. Go to, let's see here real quick. Yeah, go up. I don't know why it showed different than this. Go up. Native American. Let me scroll down. Let me see. I don't know why that thing showed like that. Go all the way up to the top real quick. This be on me, I guess I'll say. But yeah, scroll up. Okay. So we right there, that same picture there. So scroll down just a little bit, You'll see where it say like traditions and stuff like that. Scroll down. I know it looks different on my phone. All right. Yeah. Go to, it says traditions of slavery by Native. Let me see, European. Go to the one that says European slavery. European enslavement of Native Americans. You see that? Yeah. Right there. Let's read that.
European enslavement of Native Americans.
Uh-huh.
When Europeans arrived as colonists in North America, Native Americans changed their practice of slavery dramatically.
Uh-huh.
Native Americans began selling war captives to Europeans rather than integrating them into their own societies as some had done before.
Right. So they had wars. Gad had war amongst each other. And these Gadites, you know what I'm saying, were like cool with some of the Edomites and them that came there, right? Because there was some wars, there were beef against different tribes, right? So read on.
Native Americans were enslaved by the Spanish in Florida and the Southwest under various legal tools.
Right. So they had slavery down there. They let you know you had an Indian slave trade too. Scroll down a little bit so we can get more of that. Right, to read.
One tool was encomienda system. New encomiendas were outlawed in new laws of 1542, but old ones continued, and the 1542 restriction was revoked in 1545.
Scroll down, read.
As the demand for labor in the West Indies grew with the cultivation of sugarcane.
Right, so they had to take the ones they had to take the native Indians that was in the Caribbean or in the Latin countries that grew sugar cane, okay? Read on.
Europeans exported enslaved Native Americans to the Sugar Islands.
Hear that? To the Sugar Islands. So they had all those islands out there. That's the Caribbean islands, okay? They shipped some Native Americans over there. Read on.
Historian Alan Galley estimates that between 1670 and 1715, 24,000 to 51,000 captive Native Americans were exported through Carolina ports.
Through the Carolina ports, right? That's North Carolina. You got Wilmington, North Carolina, Plymouth, all these different, Cape Hatteras, all these different ports, you know what I'm saying, in North Carolina and South Carolina, right? Read on.
Of which more than half, 15,000 to 30,000, were brought from the Spanish Florida.
Uh-huh.
These numbers were more than the number of Africans imported to the Carolinas during the same period.
During the same period. So it was big time business, slave business, right? Read on.
Galley also says that the trade in Indian slaves was at the center of the English Empire's development in the American South.
Right. So they were selling us in the South too, right? That's why some of us finding out that some of us is Gad or some of us is Reuben. A lot of us thought some of us was Southern Kingdom, right? I mean, there was some mixing and stuff that took place, but we finding these things out, in some cases. But read on.
The trade in Indian slaves was the most important factor affecting the South in the period of 1670 to 1715. Intertribal wars to capture slaves destabilized English colonies, Florida and Louisiana. Additional enslaved Native Americans were exported from South Carolina to Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts.
Right, Massachusetts, right. So read that part there.
Yes, sir. Starting in 1698, Parliament allowed competition among importers of enslaved Africans, raising purchase prices for slaves in Africa. So they cost more than enslaved Native Americans.
Right. So now they started switching. They started bringing the Southern Kingdom, okay? Putting this all together and, enslaving them. But they stopped using us. They was like, matter of fact, read on that part of the British settlers.
Yes, sir. Part. British settlers, especially those in the southern colonies.
That's in the South,
purchased or captured Native Americans to use as forced labor in cultivating tobacco, rice, and indigo. Accurate records of the numbers enslaved do not exist. Slavery in colonial America became a case of people who were foreign to English colonists. Native Americans and Africans who were predominantly non-Christian, the Virginia's General Assembly defined some terms of slavery in 1705.
In 1705. So I just wanted to bring that out just to show you, hey, that Gad was enslaved too. You know what I'm saying? Gad, you had Issachar, all of them, everybody was enslaved together. That's why it says both Judah and the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. Okay, in Jeremiah 50 and 33, right? And I'm just showing how, how the Native Americans, you weren't always here in America, but you was here, of course, before the so-called white man and them came, or the conquistadors. But let's see here real quick. Go to number 4, y'all. Pull up number 4. There's a book I got, a book title. You will see it. Let me know when you got it. You see that? I want you to read this title right here, the book.
Yes, sir. American
Indian.
Indian Contributions to the World, Food, Farming, and Hunting.
And who's it by?
Emery Dean Kowicki and K. Marie Porterfield.
Porterfield, right. So, all right, so pull up 4A real quick. So 4A, this is the introduction, right? We're going to read this right here.
Yes, sir. Introduction. Indians have lived in the Americas for at least 15,000 years.
Right. So this is just we just read about, when they came, what I'm saying? It wasn't no 15,000 years, but but read on.
Some archaeologists believe they may have come to the Americas 40,000 years ago or even earlier.
Read.
Many scientists believe that the first Americans came from Asia, traveling over a land bridge. This bridge called Beringia.
That's already talk about the Bering Strait, and we know that's a lie. But read on.
Emerged from the sea several times during the Ice Age to connect what is now Siberia to what is now Alaska between 13,000 and 7,000 BC.
Read.
Based on new archaeological evidence, other scientists believe the first Americans may have traveled in boats as well.
Hear that? So they know this right here. Because this is in the history books. They know they travel here in boats. Read.
Settling along the Alaska coastline.
Read.
By the time European conquistadors and colonists arrived in the Americas starting in 1492, American Indians had invented sophisticated hunting and fishing technology.
Right. So they already knew how to live off the land here, right? These things, we were already fishermen in Jerusalem and Israel. We had boats and all that stuff. Right. So they just brought what they were doing over there and brought that stuff over here. Go ahead.
They gathered hundreds of plants for food, fiber, and medicine. American Indians of the Andes of South America and the Amazon Basin and Mesoamerica and the North American Northeast invented farming independently from other people in the world.
No, they've been doing that. We've been doing that. You read that in Genesis. You know what I'm saying? What was Jacob and his sons doing? They were farmers. They were agriculturists. They dealt with animals and crops and stuff like that, medicines. We know all that stuff. But read on.
These farmers domesticated many types of plants. By careful crossbreeding and saving seeds for thousands of years, they deliberately created hundreds of varieties of potatoes, corn, beans, and other crops.
Read.
In many instances, they shared this bounty with the Europeans and taught them the best ways to farm in the Americas.
So this is what they did. They showed them how to live, how to survive here. 'Cause when they came here, they was nasty, they were sick. So they showed them how to live. You know what I'm saying? Our people was peacefully. I'm gonna say it like that. We were peaceful people, and we taught the enemy how to survive. Go ahead.
In other instances, the colonizers stole seeds.
Hear that? They stole the seeds from us, man. They were robbing us. They stole our seeds. Go ahead.
Which they carried throughout the world.
They transport that throughout the other places on the world. You know what I'm saying? They took what we had, what we used or what we invented, and they started using that amongst the other people. They're trying to make money off of it. Go ahead.
3/4 of the food crops raised in the world today were first domesticated by American Indian farmers.
That's true, which is the Israelites, the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. They the ones, they domesticated a lot of the stuff. And we shared that information with other people during different captivities, different places where we lived at. Go ahead.
Indigenous people also taught Europeans how to cook the foods they grew. Colonists in New England and the Southeast learned from the Indians how to make cornbread.
They teach them how to make cornbread, right? That's that cornmeal. Go ahead.
Chowders, succotash, corn on a cob, and other dishes that became the basis of regional cuisines.
Hear that? Hit the next thing, the next page, or there's like another page to it. Okay, yes, sir. Yeah, because it is showing you know what I'm saying, that, hey, all those different cuisines, all that stuff, we were doing that stuff. Our people to this day still eat those dishes. You know what I'm saying? Right. We still eating that stuff, cornbread. Hey, we matter of fact, we eat it so much, we nickname people cornbread. You know what I'm saying? Well, go ahead and read.
In Mesoamerica, Maya and Aztec tortillas and tamales became the basis for Mexican dishes that are popular today.
Right. So that is Issachar, right? So we had the Aztec, which is Issachar. The Maya is a tribe of Zebulon, the Mayans. Go ahead.
Europeans in the Americas took over American Indian farmers' fields.
Hear that? So if y'all look at all those fields that we see out there, where they where you call it, where America be, where the white man be farming and all that stuff, they took that from Gad. That land was already fertile. So all they did was just took it over. Read that part again.
Europeans in the Americas took over American Indian farmers' fields. This was faster and easier for them than clearing land to make their own fields.
Hear that? Dang, read.
In 1763, British in North America set aside land for Indians. Later, the U.S. government and the Canadian government created reservations and reserves and forced Indian people to move there.
Here they forced them. That's the Trail of Tears, okay? Go ahead.
Most of the land on these reservations were unsuitable for farming.
Right. So they purposely wanted to put them out in a land where they wanted them to starve themselves out. But, the Lord didn't allow that to happen. Go ahead.
In Mesoamerica and South America, the Spaniards created the encomienda system.
Remember, we saw that, and I should have looked that word up, but go ahead.
The Spaniards claimed ownership of the land. They forced Indians to farm it for them and give them the crops they harvested.
Right. Remember that the nation going to eat up all your stuff and take over it? Well, we saw that as a curse. Go ahead.
By the end of the 1800s, most American Indians were unable to practice farming, as many tribes and culture groups had done for thousands of years.
Read.
The pages that follow tell the story of American Indian hunting, fishing, gathering, and farming, a story that has all too often been forgotten or pushed into the background. The purpose of this book is to give credit to the intelligent and civilized original peoples of the Americas for their role in feeding the people of the world today.
Right. So it just showing you, man, what Esau did. Esau had, they were wicked. They took our stuff. They took the land, because this was a promised land that was given to the northern kingdom. That's why they came over here. But of course they went off. When we go off, the Lord there's curses that go along with it. Right. So go to, let me see, I got it. Go to Psalms 49 and 11 real quick. Psalms chapter 49 and verse 11. When you get that, let me know. We're going to show you. So when they took the land, they took, it was called Arsareth. Now they done changed Arsareth to America, named after Amerigo Vespucci, right? Sure. Read.
The Psalms chapter 49 and verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
That's why they celebrate Independence Day, the 4th of July. They thinking they're going to do this forever. You know what I'm saying? That the inward thought in their mind is their houses going to last forever. Go ahead.
And their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names.
And they call their lands after their own names. So they change the name of the place and give it their name. Okay? It's not more on there, is it? No, sir. I want you to go to Micah chapter 2 and verse 2. Micah chapter 2 and verse 2. So it's going into the same thing. Once you get it, go ahead on and read it.
Yes, sir. Micah chapter 2 and verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence.
Hear that? They covet fields. They see something that they know that's not theirs. They covet that thing. That's why they took the land, what we was reading. They took those lands, those fields that was already, cleared out. They said, we ain't got to clear no land. We just take over where they was at. You know what I'm saying? And it's proof, you know what I'm saying? That's, you see some people got lands and they got Indian mounds on those lands. You know what I'm saying? Why is that? Because they stole that land.
The hell is this?
Read it again.
And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house.
Hear that? They oppress a man and his house. Go ahead.
Even a man and his heritage.
See that? Even a man and his land. That's your heritage. What was inherited to you by your family, your parents, it was going down the line. They took all that. They said, the heck with that. This is ours now. You know what I'm saying? They covered it, they stole it, and they took it. Go to John chapter 10 and verse 10. John chapter 10 and verse 10. We'll see what Christ say about this thief, okay? The old thieving dude right here. You can't trust him. It said, never trust thine enemy. Go ahead.
John chapter 10 and verse 10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal.
Hear that? He said, the thief cometh not, but to steal, right?
And to kill.
And to kill.
And to destroy.
So, because this is Christ talking about the Romans, the same, they forefathers, okay? He said the thief is Esau, the Roman. He cometh not for good, but for to steal and to kill and to what?
And to destroy.
And to destroy. Read.
I am come that they might have life.
He said, I come because that they may have life. That's the reason why I'm here. He said, I come to save that which was lost, okay? I come to save Israel for my people. Go ahead.
And that they might have it more abundantly.
That they may have it more abundantly. You know what I'm saying? That's what Christ come to give us the kingdom, give us this whole earth, okay? We're going to inherit this thing when Christ come. All right? So go to Psalms chapter 55 and verse 20. Psalms 55 and 20. Psalms chapter 55 and verse 20. When you get it, pull it up.
Yes, sir.
I know I give you these hard books to find the scripts.
Yes, sir. Psalms chapter 55 and verse 20. He hath put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant.
And he talking about the so-called white man. He done broke his covenant. You know, the Gad and them, we'll say this, the northern kingdom in it was peaceful. You know, they wasn't here. They weren't looking to fight them. They took care of them, show them how to live and all that. But what happened? Verse 21.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
That's how he talked. He talked with lies and subtlety. Okay, his words smoother than butter. He's slick. Go ahead.
But war was in his heart.
That was his mindset. He was sending stuff. He was sending things back. Hey, we got all this land over here. That's why they broke off to be independent. They didn't need Britain no more. They said we got the whole America to ourselves. We just take this thing over and we'll be rich. That's what their mindset was at. Okay, so they inherited. They got everything. So it said his words was what?
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil. Yet were they drawn swords.
Yet where they had a sword. They had war in their mind. Where they see what they seen afar off what they can benefit off. And they say we could just kill them. We could take this from this people here. They're easy. It's like taking candy from a baby. That's what their mindset was, right? So go to 4B real quick. 4B. Let's look at that. What 4B's talking about. Load that on up. So, because you got some people, you know, they're just going into Gad right here. It's showing you what Gad is doing here, and you know some of the tribes here in North Carolina. Let me know when you got it. All righty. Read that from. You close that out. Yeah. That's blocked. Oh. Oh man. Okay. Hold on, is it blocked? Okay. Yeah, so I think we would give it time to pull it back up. But yeah, on this is an article here that's showing that some of the native tribes, what they got going on, what they think about the 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? What, you know, how they deal with this Independence Day, you know, or what do you call it, with America's 250th anniversary. And that's what it's 250 years old. That's how old this nation is right here. Okay. Did it pull up or anything? It's still doing the same thing? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Let me see here real quick. Why he's getting that, read that Psalm 55 and 20 again. Read that one more time.
Yes, sir. Psalm chapter 55 and verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
So the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Okay, read.
But war was in his heart.
So in his mind, he had war. He was like, we're gonna fight. We're gonna take this kingdom down. We're gonna enslave the people. We're gonna rape the women. We're gonna rape the men. That's what they did. They were cruel and nasty beast. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it like that. Read on.
His words were softer than oil.
They were softer than oil, because you see oil is slick. Go ahead.
Yet were they drawn swords.
Yet were they drawn swords. They came fully armored. They came with knives, guns, all that. So that's the swords we was talking about. They had guns and cannons. So go ahead and read that right there.
Yes, sir. Native American nations divided over America's 250th anniversary.
So they're divided right now over this thing. Let's read the little thing at the bottom. I mean, like I said, all American. What?
Yeah, at America.
Yeah.
At America's 250th anniversary, Native Americans are confronting their complicated history with the United States.
Right. So this come out here. This was today. Okay, I saw this on the thing today. Scroll up. Let me see. Right, read that right there. What?
Yes, sir. Halifax, North Carolina.
So where's that? That's right up the road here, right up over here on 95, Halifax, North Carolina. Okay, read.
Marty Richardson descended into the wooded grove, weaving through a crowd of onlookers attending a local America 250th celebration.
Right. So read that again.
Marty Richardson descended into the wooded grove, weaving through a crowd of onlookers attending a local America 250th celebration.
So he see people, you know what I'm saying, that's over there, you know, getting ready to get things together for tomorrow. That's what he's saying. They see there's a big thing about to take place. They see people getting ready to get their fireworks and all that stuff ready, set up. Go ahead on and read.
Yes, sir. When Richardson began to speak, the crowd went silent. The Halawa-Saponi Indian tribe, he told them, endured warfare, land encroachment, and devastating diseases brought by European settlers over the last 2.5 centuries.
That's the 250 years. That's since they've been here, when they became a nation. Go ahead.
Forces that nearly wiped out their people.
Right, because they killed a lot of people with the smallpox when they came. Right, read that.
Treaties with the colony and the country have been broken, and promises to our people not fulfilled.
Not fulfilled. You hear that right there? He broke a lot of treaties and stuff, man, that took place. That's what we was reading, you know, above. You know, he broke he broke that covenant. He made a covenant, a treaty, and then he done destroyed that thing. He didn't live by his own laws. He had what do you call it? Cats 22s all up in there. Scroll down real quick. That's him. That's them in the grove right there. And you got people getting ready to set up. Scroll down real quick.
Yes, sir. For Native American tribes in the United States, navigating the 250th anniversary of the nation's founding is complex. The American Revolution led to the society we live in today, but it's also accelerated the destruction of the indigenous civilizations who called the land home for thousands of years. Many indigenous peoples living in the eastern United States fought for the British during the war to protect their land from further European intrusion. Right.
So he had all that different type of stuff there, man. All that stuff that was transpiring, happening to our people. You know, he was like, you know, this is what it is showing you. They were fighting with the British. They was, they teamed up with the British military, you know what I'm saying, to fight against other different European tribes that came, you know, but this man tricked them, you know what I'm saying? He tricked them, destroyed them, and they took over their lands, and now they got them in reservations. This tribe here don't have a national recognition. They got a state recognition, but then they're not known nationally. You know, you had the tribe down there in Lumberton, the Lumbees, they just got their recognition here just about a year ago. So it's just showing you all these different things. Go to, we're going to speed this thing up real quick. Go to 4C real quick, 4C. You can pull that up. We're going to, now we're going to jump to Levi real quick. And the reason why I'm bringing this out, because you have some native tribes and you got people that's here in America, you know what I'm saying, from other different places that are Israelites, and they go celebrate 4th of July. I don't know why, but take me down real quick. Give him to read that.
Yes, sir. Approximately 350,000 Haitian nationals face deportation from the United States following a June 25th, 2026 Supreme Court ruling that allows the Trump administration to terminate their temporary protected status.
Right. So the temporary protected status that they had, that thing is getting, you know, they trying to vote that thing out. That's what Trump trying to do. and it's showing you got 350, thousand of them, and that's a lot of people, that they trying to kick out. Read that right there. Scroll up a little bit. Yeah.
Yes, sir. The 6-3 decision by the Supreme Court affirms the executive branch's authority to end humanitarian protections that have allowed many Haitians to live and work in the U.S. legally for over a decade.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna jump to I want you to pull up. Number 5. Go to number 5 real quick. Because what happened is a lot of these people, these other nations, our people come here, they become patriotic. You know what I'm saying? They got patriotism in them. They love America. You know what I'm saying? It's another, that's 5A. I want number 5. You see number 5? It's a Merriam-Webster dictionary, patriotic. Yeah, so we're going to pull that one up first. Transition. Yeah, pay attention. Go read that.
Patriotic. Having or showing great love and support for your country, having or showing patriotism.
Right. So that's a big thing with a lot of our people that fought in the military here. They think they become assimilated to America. This same thing that happened to our brothers, the Levi. The tribe of Levi, the so-called Haitians. They got assimilated. Now they about to deport you back. That's crazy. They're showing you they don't have no love for you. But I guaranteed you a lot of them going to barbecue tomorrow. They're going to celebrate, shoot up fireworks. You know what I'm saying? So now go to 5A. Pull that one up in 5A just to show you what takes place at these Trump rallies or whatever. That's why I call it a Trump rally, a Klan rally. Read that.
News break. Confederate flag display at President Donald Trump's Great American State Fair sparks disgust, widespread condemnation.
Widespread condemnation, right? Scroll down. See that rebel flag with the North Carolina? That's how the flag used to originally look. You know what I'm saying? At one time. But let's read that right there.
Yes, sir. North Carolina government, Josh Steen, is condemning a controversial display at a Washington, D.C. event celebrating America's 250th anniversary after altered versions of the state flag featuring Confederate imagery appeared inside the North America exhibit.
Inside the North Carolina exhibit. Yeah, all right, read that right there, Confederate.
Yes, sir. Confederate flag at the Great American State Fair.
He said a great American. You remember he said, make America great, right? So you can drop that. I want you to pull up number 6 real quick. We're going to get the statistics of the 4th of July. Pull up number 6. When you get a chance, let me know. We're going to go through this real quick. We almost done. Yes, sir. Read that right there.
Yes, sir. Research shows Black Americans often observe the 4th of July differently than general population, prioritizing intergenerational gatherings over traditional patriotic celebrations. The holiday represents a complex mix of historical critique, celebration of community, and excuse to enjoy time off from work.
Right. Go ahead, read on.
Key statistics, psychological trends regarding the holiday include.
Okay, you're going to hit more, hit where it says show more. All right, you're going to scroll down. All right.
Sure. Holiday participation. While many Black Americans enjoy the holiday, a significant portion co-opts the day as a time to celebrate freedom with family rather than national patriotism. As highlighted in NPR, for many Black families, the 4th serves primarily as a convenient time to fire up the grill and host massive community cookouts.
That's what we like to do. Our people go out there, they go like, hey, we're going to grill. They buy all this meat. They even get fireworks. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, I used to do the same thing because we didn't know. We didn't know the truth. But it's just showing you our people, you know what I'm saying, they sleep, they lost, and they like to fire it up. You know what I'm saying? Read that, family focus.
Yes, sir. Family focus versus solo celebration. Black Americans are more likely than non-Black Americans to celebrate the 4th of July alone, 21% versus 10%, a trend that correlates with lower marriage rates. However, this leads to a higher rate of extended family involvement. 59% of Black Americans celebrate the holiday with other family members compared to 45% of non-Blacks.
Right. So I just want to pull up different, statistics to show you how our people, you know what I'm saying, how they get involved and assimilate to that. right? So go to number 9. Pull number 9 up real quick. That was the other one I want. Number 9, you see it's the last one. Yeah, it says statistics of the dead Israelites. That's why I got listed, meaning it's going to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. What they do as far as celebrating 4th of July. So read that.
Yes, sir. 4th of July engagement varies across demographics, with studies showing 59% of Black Americans celebrating with extended family, 42% of Hispanic Americans viewing the flag as unifying, and indigenous groups often using the day for cultural reflection and honoring veterans rather than traditional celebration.
Right. Scroll down where it says Black Americans. All right. Hitting that. Yeah. Hit that right there.
Black Americans. Celebration styles. Black Americans are more likely to celebrate the 4th of July alone, 21%, but are also more likely to celebrate in large extended family gatherings.
Right. Scroll down real quick until we get to Hispanics right again.
Hispanic Americans, patriotism and flags. 42% of Hispanic Americans view the American flag as a unifying symbol, placing them between black and white adult sentiments.
Hear that? Black and white adult sentiments, right? So it just showing you they get assimilated to that thing. You know what I'm saying? What is that historical awareness?
Yes, sir. Historical awareness. In surveys regarding the 250th anniversary of United States independence, 43% of Hispanic Americans correctly recognize what the holiday celebrates, and 43% believe the country continues to live up to its constitutional promises.
Yeah, I'm about to talk to Officer Issachar about that. But scroll down real quick. Native Americans.
Native Americans. Historical reflection. The 4th of July marks a complicated history for indigenous communities, tracing back to displacement, broken treaties, and the legacy of Declaration of Independence, referring to them as merciless Indian savages. They're merciless Indian savages.
Right. So read that indigenous celebration.
Indigenous celebrations. Many Native Americans do not celebrate Independence Day as patriotic event. Instead, they use the long weekend to host cultural gatherings, traditional ceremonies, and to honor their own indigenous veterans.
Right, right. So they got their own way of doing things. Some of them, but a lot of them do celebrate that thing. So now we almost done. Go to go to that. We're gonna watch this speech here real quick. This is YouTube. You see the one? I forgot that. Did I number it? The Frederick Douglass one. You see that? Pull that up real quick, because I didn't know this famous speech that Frederick Douglass had did about the 4th of July. This is where I got the title from. The title comes with this right here, and then I'm almost done. You got it? All right, let's hit play on this real quick. Yeah, put the things
Today in this special broadcast, we begin with the words of Frederick Douglass. Born into slavery around 1818, Douglass became a key leader of the abolitionist movement. On July 5th, 1852, in Rochester, New York, Frederick Douglass gave one of his most famous speeches, "What to the Slave is Your 4th of July?" He was addressing the Rochester Ladies Anti-Slavery Society. This is James Earl Jones reading the historic address during a performance of Voices of a People's History of the United States. It was co-edited by Howard Zinn. The late, great historian introduced the address.
Frederick Douglass, once a slave, became a brilliant and powerful leader of the anti-slavery movement. In 1852, he was asked to speak in celebration of the 4th of July.
Fellow citizens, pardon me and allow me to ask, why am I called upon to speak here today? What have I, or those I represent, to do with your national independence? Are the great principles of political freedom and of natural justice embodied in that Declaration of Independence extended to us? And am I, therefore, called upon to bring our humble offering to the national altar and to confess the benefits and express devout gratitude for the blessings resulting from your independence to us? I am not included within the pale of this glorious anniversary. Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us. The blessings in which you this day rejoice are not enjoyed in common. The rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not by me. The sunlight that brought life and healing to you has brought stripes and death to me. This 4th of July is yours, not mine. You may rejoice, I must mourn. To drag a man in fetters into the grand illuminated temple of liberty and call upon him to join you in joyous anthems were inhuman mockery and sacrilegious irony. Do you mean, citizens, to mock me by asking me to speak today? What to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him more than all other days of the year the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is a constant victim. To him, your celebration is a sham. Your boasted liberty, an unholy license. Your national greatness, swelling vanity. Your sounds of rejoicing are empty and heartless. Your denunciation of tyrants, brass-fronted impudence. Your shouts of liberty and equality, hollow mockery. Your prayers and hymns, your sermons and thanksgivings, with all your religious parade and solemnity, are to him mere bombast, fraud, deception, impiety, and hypocrisy. A thin veil to cover up crimes that would disgrace a nation of savages. There's not a nation of the earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of these United States at this very hour. At a time like this, scorching irony, not convincing argument, is needed. Oh, had I the ability and could reach the nation's ear, I would today pour forth a fiery stream of biting ridicule, blasting reproach, withering sarcasm, and stern rebuke. For it is not light that is needed, but fire. It is not the gentle shower, but thunder. We need the storm, the whirlwind, the earthquake. The feeling of the nation must be quickened. The conscience of the nation must be roused. The propriety of the nation must be startled. The hypocrisy of the nation must be exposed, and the crimes against God and man must be proclaimed and denounced.
James.
Hey, that was a fire speech there. Hey, I never heard that speech before until just recently. But we're gonna end it here with these last few scriptures. Go to Revelation 18:4. Revelation chapter 18:4 and 5. Read that once you get it. Go ahead on and read it.
The book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people."
So that's why we got to come out. We got to come out of America. You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, come out of her, my people. Go ahead.
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
That we not partakers of her sins. That's what Independence Day is their sin. Their sin. And we involved in the midst of that, we going to be touched by that. Go ahead.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
And receive not of her plagues. Go ahead.
For her sins have reached unto heaven. And God have remembered her iniquities.
So the Lord had remembered her iniquities. That thing done reached up to the heavens. That's verse 5?
Yes, sir.
All right, go to 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 17 real quick. 2 Corinthians 6 and 17 through 18. We almost done. The quicker you move, the quicker we get done.
2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 17. Wherefore, come out from among them and be ye separate.
Right. Wherefore come out from among them and be separate. We got to come out from among America. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing.
That's that 4th of July is unclean. Christmas, Thanksgiving, all these wicked holidays. Go ahead.
And I will receive you. And will be a father unto you. And ye shall be my sons and daughters.
And then you will be back to the Lord. What verse is that?
Verse 18.
Go ahead.
Saith the Lord Almighty.
Okay, go now. The last scripture. I want you to go to Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. Revelation 11 and 8, and we're gonna end it at 12.
Sir.
Go ahead, get it when you get it. Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8.
The book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
So the dead bodies is talking about us being asleep. You know, Proverbs 21:16. Go ahead.
Which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
That's what this place here is called. America is spiritually called Sodom. You see all the homosexuality taking place. And Egypt, okay, all the abominations, everything's set up just like ancient Egypt, okay? Meaning this is the place we were in bondage at. Go ahead. All 12 tribes. Go ahead.
Where also our Lord was crucified.
So they crucified the image of Christ. Now they put their image up as Christ. So our people don't even know what Christ looked like. Go ahead.
And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
Why? Because you're not spiritually, you're spiritually dead, but you're not physically dead. That's why we out here in the streets walking like zombies. Go ahead.
And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them.
Because they dwell over us. They rejoice over us. Go ahead.
And make merry, and shall send gifts one to another.
That's the Christmas. We were the Christmas gifts. We were the birthday gifts, okay? They drank and got drunk and made fun of us and laughed at us. Go ahead.
Because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth.
So we tormented them at one time. You know what I'm saying? That was Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom. That's the two prophets. Go ahead.
And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Right, and that what it's talking about, that spirit, if you go, I'm just going to quote it. This is Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 10. That's showing when he told Ezekiel, prophesy to these dry bones that's out in that city, that great in that field. That's America today, okay? That's what we doing. We out here, we prophesying, trying to wake up the 12 tribes of Israel so we can go home. So with that, Israel, my name again, I'm Officer Nahum, IUIC Raleigh. Hope y'all glean something from this. You know what I'm saying? Don't celebrate 4th of July. Say no, don't blast off no fireworks because you might get burnt. With that, we say shalom, Most High in Christ bless.
Across the earth, the prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airwaves, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.